Got pics of my wife entering her dad's house with another man while her dad was out of town. Myself, M27, my wife, F25, and my 8-year-old step-son live with my mother-in-law while our new construction house is being built. We have lived here since March and probably won't get out till at least January. A few nights ago, I got a Facebook message from a random profile that told me my wife was cheating on me. At first, I wanted to ignore the message, but then I asked how they knew. Short of the long, it turned out to be my father-in-law's neighbor. He has security cameras all around his house. He sent me pictures of her car in the driveway with another car that I have never seen before. My father-in-law was out of town when this was happening. I can't make out the pictures too well because the quality sucks. They were in the house for about 2 hours together, so I don't know who the guy is. My wife has been pretty sketchy these last few months. She changed her passcode on her phone. She sleeps with her phone basically under her. She stopped sharing her location with me. A few major roadblocks for me using this information against her. I love her son more than she does. His biological father has never been involved, and after we got married he started calling me dad. If I were to get a divorce, I would have no right to see him, and more than likely it would emotionally scar him for the rest of his life. I live with her mom. I have a home full of belongings in her basement and nowhere to go. So what do? Play the long game. File for adoption so I have a leg to stand on in court when we get a divorce. That way I could have a chance to at least see my stepson. Or do I just blow the whole thing up? Story 2. How to deal with an accusatory spousey. 26F. Literally don't know what to do. Let's assume I am literally just sitting here being normal and speaking like a normal, respectable human being, having a light conversation, and then my spouse, 28, will randomly latch on to one small thing I said and claim that I've offended them, are mocking them, or am raising my voice. It's completely unpredictable, and it always happens during neutral conversation topics, and they'll somehow find a way to take something personally and argue with me. And I can't defend myself without being told I'm gaslighting them or changing the story to my advantage. These arguments stem from normal, peaceful daily conversations, so I especially don't have any reason to start trouble and be rude. So it catches me off guard and I just want peace. We recently discovered the carbon triangle and had a heartfelt conversation about our accidental roles in the cycle. Me as the rescuer, them as the victims, and both moving around the triangle from there. But now they use it to make themselves look higher, starting these arguments and then saying things like, well, I'm not going to perpetuate this cycle today. You're the one who did something wrong and I'm going to be the bigger person and cut it off here. After throwing accusations at me, completely shutting me out. Small detail, but they also scapegoat the fact that I'm taking Concerta, insisting that the medicine changed me for the worse and having friends confirm it as well. But I'm on a really low dose, and it actually helps me control outbursts, vocalizing too much, tics, and interrupting. And for more context, although this sort of behavior stopped about a year ago, they used to wake me up in the middle of the night to confront me about old tweets I made before we started dating, a Tinder screenshot of a funny profile pic, a picture of me in a bikini, another picture of me in a knee-length dress, claiming these things are upsetting and indecent. Nowadays, they just accuse me of being mean during perfectly normal conversations. I get that these things are triggering for them, and I do everything I can to change and adjust myself, but I shouldn't have to suffer. They come from a pretty badly abusive home and are on the spectrum, so I understand. But what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to react when my reality is that I haven't done anything wrong? We've lived together, been dating for 2.5 years, known each other for 7. I love them, but my mental health is suffering very badly. Loaded. I should also add that they were unfortunately caught in the cycle of constantly being in emotionally/physically abusive romantic relationships for many years before marrying me and perhaps have not ever experienced love without the presence of abuse. Story 3. I, 20M, developed feelings for a friend, 18F, on Twitter from a different school and don't know the next steps. So I met this girl on Twitter and we became pretty close. I saw her tweet that she was considering asking her ex, who she hates, to her sorority semi-formal. I DM'd her saying how I thought that was a bad idea and how I'd go with her. I didn't have feelings for her at all at that point. In between then and now, I started realizing I might have feelings for her, but it was more or less, oh, I can't like her, I've never met her. Or, I want to find someone exactly like her while her sorority's semi-formal was last weekend and I do like her. That was clear to me within hours of spending time with her in person. Our schools are a couple hours apart, and while it would suck, I'm completely okay driving that far, so I'm okay with it. I know she's had a history of being upset by guys from Twitter liking her in the past, but that's when she wasn't 18 yet, which is a whole different animal. I know there is also someone she likes at her school, but I also know they aren't dating and she doesn't know whether he likes her. I'm way too online, and she's a big part of the community I'm in online, and having her freak out and block me would be legit just like losing a super close personal friend for that reason, because she is one. I don't think she likes me back, but this is weighing so heavily on my shoulders and I don't know what to do. I'm supposed to go back there for a completely separate event in a couple weeks and plan to see her again. And I don't know whether to text her like now, just block her on everything, bottle it and never bring it up, ask some of her IRL friends who I can trust not to tell her if it's a bad idea, or what to do. I think so much of her. She's hilarious, smart, shares the same interests I do, and so much fun to talk to at all times, and have even since I caught feelings, and don't want that jeopardized, but at the same time it's weighing so much on me RN that it is impacting my mental health. Story 4. Should I just end this friendship? Hello? So I have 22, have a friend, M22, not just a couple months ago, it was a pretty casual friendship. Now this guy does have a crush on me and was pretty sad when I got into a relationship with my BF, mostly on the phone as he was in his hometown because of the pandemic. So 2 months ago, he came to the city to visit friends and all, and he also brought along his new bike. We decided to meet. I should mention here that I wasn't keen on meeting him, but I went anyway. So we met at a nearby cafe. Everything was okay, pretty casual. But after like 20 minutes of meeting, he said we should take a ride on his new bike. We had only decided to meet, so it was pretty weird to me, but me being the people pleaser I am, I decided to go along with it. The main reason for my anger is that he took me to a place I specifically told him not to, and again me being the stupid me didn't say anything. I was just waiting for this to get done with. Now after that, we came back to the cafe where my vehicle was, but guess what? He didn't stop. He was like, let's go a little bit farther, so we went more far, had some food, and finally came back. Said our goodbyes. Then after a couple of weeks he mentioned on a call that he has a surprise that will shock me. I knew it was something related to him moving here in this city for college, but the sentence really creeped me out. I didn't push it though. After a couple days, he admitted that him and his friend will be moving to his friend's flat, which is right in front of my house. How weird is that? And when I told him I went on the first date with my BF, he was asking weird details like, where did you go, what you did you click pictures, like, who asks this? That is when I knew I can't continue to pretend to be his friend. And he knows I have a BF, so he doesn't think all this is weird. Every time I look out of the window, I'm going to think someone's watching me. Every time I go out or walk my dog, I'm going to think the same. I don't think things can be the same when he was in another town and we just talked on the phone. His didn't affect me, but now it will right in front of my house. My friends think I should text him that I'm not comfortable with this and just block him. I agree with them, but I'm still skeptical. I don't know how to end things.